Doing assignment number 2, question 2, which is going to be focusing on negating statements. So the question is, negate the following statements. I'll go to school or I'll work full time. She rode the bus at least once this year. And the last one is going to be, he brushes his teeth and sometimes he flosses. So I just wanted to point out really quick before we begin negating those statements that we remember what negating even is. So negating means to determine the opposite of what a mathematical statement is saying or expressing. So that's exactly what we're going to do in our examples. So A today is going to be, I'll go to school or I'll work full time. So let's focus on the first part of the question. So I'll go to school. Remember, negating means to determine the opposite. So the opposite of I'll go to school is I will not go to school. Perfect. And then we're going to deal with the or in a little bit, so let's leave that part blank. Let's work on the second part of the sentence. It's going to say I'll work full time. The opposite of I'll work full time is I will not work full time. Oops. Perfect. So let's deal with the or. We know that from our connectives unit that when we are mathematically connecting a statement, it is called a connective. The and or are going to mean the same thing. They're going to represent each other. So or will change to and likewise the and is going to change to an or. So in this case, it's an or. We're going to change it to an and in this sentence. So the sentence is as follows: I will not go to school and I will not work full time. So let's work on B, which is she rode the bus at least once this year. So let's focus on the first part of this sentence. She rode the bus. The opposite is going to be she did not ride the bus. And luckily we don't have a connective in this sentence, so we don't have to focus on that. Let's just focus on the last part of the sentence. The last part is saying at least once this year, so she rode the bus at least once this year. If she's riding the bus at least once, that means in our negated statement, the opposite, she can't be riding the bus at all. So we're going to end the sentence, she did not ride the bus at all this year. Moving on to C. It says he always brushes his teeth and sometimes he flosses. So let's focus on what is going to be the opposite of he always brushes his teeth. Your automatic response, I would understand if it was he never brushes his teeth, but let's be realistic. If you never brush your teeth are going to fall out. So in math, with this statement, it's really important that we're not going from one extreme to the next. So do not go from one extreme to the next. So instead of saying he always brushes his teeth, maybe he sometimes does not brush his teeth. That is still the opposite of what is being said. And then to end it off, we do have a connective. Let's remember what our and switches over to. We're going to do an or. That is the connective for this one. So it's an or. Sometimes he flosses is the original sentence. So if he's flossing sometimes, a lot of people don't ever floss. So in this case, it is okay to switch that sometimes around to never, or he never flosses, because it's not necessarily going from one extreme to the next. Brushing your teeth is. Lots of people don't floss, therefore he never flosses. All right, everyone, that is the end of our assignment questions for today. If anyone has any questions, feel free to send me an email.